Good afternoon, I'm Stephen Cohn, and this is your UI7 Sports Update. Two Big Ten teams are in action tonight as the Sweet 16 in the NCAA men's basketball tournament gets underway with 4 games. Michigan and Purdue will both vie for spots in the Elite Eight, with Purdue taking the court first in Louisville against Tennessee. The Boilermakers advanced to their 3rd Sweet 16 in as many years with a second-round victory over defending national champion Villanova on Saturday. And the 26-point win, Purdue's junior guard Carson Edwards lit up the scoreboard for 42 points, the most by any player in the tournament since 2003. Edwards wasn't alone for the Big Ten champion Boilermakers, as sophomore center Matt Harms added 18 points and 9 rebounds. And let's take a look at tonight's full slate of games. Florida State and 1-seed Gonzaga will get things started just after 6 p.m. local time before Purdue has a chance to reach its first Elite Eight since 2000. Last year's runners-up Michigan will play Texas Tech after the Seminoles and Bulldogs square off before the nightcap between 12-seed Oregon and number 1 Virginia. And the Sweet 16 will wrap up tomorrow with 4 more games. Illinois basketball didn't get to go dancing again this season, but Illini softball and baseball may be well on their way to NCAA tournaments. Illinois softball took care of business in walk-off fashion in a midweek game against Eastern Illinois at Eichelberger Field on Tuesday. Trailing 2-1, the Illini's bats finally got going in the 5th inning as they scored 5 runs on 3 doubles. 4 Illinois errors helped Eastern storm back in the 6th, but the Illini finished it off with a walk-off hit from senior Carly Thomas in the 8th inning for the 8-7 win. Illinois hits the road for Lincoln as they continue Big Ten play against Nebraska starting tomorrow. Unlike softball, Illinois baseball had its 3-game winning streak snapped on Tuesday night. Illinois visited Indiana State for 1 game on Tuesday, and things got off to a good start with Michael Massey's RBI double in the 6th inning, giving the Illini a 1-0 lead. The Sycamores scored 2 runs on Grant Van Scoy's throwing error in the bottom half of the frame and won 3-1. Illinois heads to Iowa City this weekend to open Big Ten play against the Hawkeyes. Major League Baseball season got underway last week in Japan when the Mariners took a pair of games from the Athletics. But the new season officially starts today with opening day. All 30 teams are scheduled to be in action, and the St. Louis Cardinals started up against the Brewers in Milwaukee about an hour ago. At the time, the Cardinals were up 3-1. Mike Moustakas had a homer for Milwaukee. The Cardinals back-to-back shots from Colton Wong and Harrison Bader, but the Brewers now up 4-3. After Christian Yelich, last year's National League MVP, had a 3-run homer. More updates from this game later in our full newscast at 5. Of course, not everyone in Champaign-Urbana is a Cardinals fan. The Chicago teams will get going in about an hour, with the Cubs down in Arlington with interleague action against the Rangers, and the White Sox in Kansas City playing the Royals. High expectations for the Cubs this year to reclaim the NL Central crown from the Brewers, while the Southsiders will look to end their 11-year playoff drought. John Lester will get the nod for the Cubs, and Carlos Rodon will make his first career opening day start for the White Sox. And while it might finally be baseball season, there's also some pigskin starting up. Illinois football opened its 4th year of spring ball under head coach Lovie Smith earlier this week. Illinois football's Twitter account shared some highlights from the start of the Illini's 15 spring practices, and the early results look to be good. Illini fans will have a chance to take into action on Saturday, April 13th in the first orange and blue spring game since 2015. That game will kick off in Memorial Stadium at 2 p.m. And moving from the gridiron to the greens, things got a little fishy on the golf course earlier this week. At last weekend's PGA Tour Valspar Championship event in Tampa, Florida, a bird caught a fish. And then it got weird. The bird tried to fly away with its fresh catch, but dropped it, and luckily, one brave fan sprung into action, picking up the abandoned fish and tossing it back into the water. A true hero in my book. Well, March showers bring, I guess, April showers. Taking a look at our weekend 3-day forecast, it's going to be a wet weekend in Champaign-Urbana as we close out the month. Temperatures will reach highs in the 60s today and in the upper 50s tomorrow, with a cool down coming on Saturday, with a dip back into the 30s at night. Definitely don't forget that umbrella the next few days, and let's hope for a warm-up and some sunnier days as the calendar flips to April next weekend. Luckily, Illinois baseball and softball out of town this weekend, so they won't have to deal with those delays. Your full weather forecast, though, coming up with Gary Walker at 5. For more of our stories, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or check out our YouTube page for all of the latest news, sports, and weather. That's it for now. I have your full UI7 Sports Update coming at 5. I'm Stephen Cohn, and have a great afternoon.